Whew. Hi, welcome aboard. Today is a great example of how an airplane can be a great utility and how it can be more beneficial than the airlines. Alright, according to ForeFlight, we're going to get Rogan, Melbourne, Victor 3, Ormond, and then St. Augustine. So we're going to live on the edge. I'm going to enter that in, and let's see if that's what we get. Going to the ground, Baron 3175, Whiskey with Foxtrot, like to pick up my IFR to St. Augustine, Sierra Golf, Juliet.
Baron 3175 Whiskey, cleared to the St. Augustine Airport. Via radar vectors Melbourne, then as filed. After departure, maintain 2000. Expect 8000 in 10 minutes. Departure frequency 125.15. Squawk 7402.
Cleared to St. Augustine, radar vectors, Melbourne as filed, 2000, 8010 minutes, 125.15 and 7402 for 3175 Whiskey.
November 75 Whiskey, readback is correct, advise ready taxi, runway 4.
So that's pretty much what I filed, except for, what I entered I should say, according to ForeFlight, except they went ahead and they took Rogan out, and so I'm going to go ahead and pull Rogan out. Go to ground, Baron 3175 Whiskey 200 hangars, rated taxi to the active.
Baron 3175 Whiskey, runway 4, taxi via Foxtrot and Delta.
4 via Foxtrot and Delta for 75 Whiskey. So today I had a flight scheduled on the airlines to head up to Jacksonville, and then something else came up where I was needed for a flight for the 135 flying I do, and that flight meant flying all the way to Wisconsin and back. And unfortunately, by the time we did that, I was not going to be back in time for my airline flight out of RSW on Delta, but I really needed to get up there. So there really wouldn't be much of a chance that I would get on another flight last minute. There's not many flights out of my airport. So the utility of being able to hop in the airplane and head up there was huge. So here's an example of where you can fly commercially, but having the flexibility changes everything. It's a game changer. And so here I am now, going to be at work on time because of the flexibility and not have to rearrange anything. So there is a little bit of weather up by Jacksonville. Hoping that most of that will be dissipating. If the ADS-B can pick it up before we take off, but I have seen it. And if not, if we need to, we will stop early at Daytona and wait it out. We'll figure out something.
Baron 3175 Whiskey, Point Water Tower, runway 4, fly heading 020, cleared for takeoff. Wind 110 at 13, gust 18.
Runway 4, 020, clear for takeoff. 75 Whiskey. We are clear right. We are clear left. We're up to 2000 and 020. Got a pretty strong crosswind off of our right. Alright, gauges are in the green. Airspeed is alive. Fuel flow 84 knots. Positive rate. You're up.
Baron 3175 Whiskey, contact Fort Myers departure. Good.
Departure, good day, 7 Whiskey. Alright, bring the power back to climb. Let's go to departure.
Contact approach 126.8.
Departure Baron 3175 Whiskey 1.2, climbing 2000.
Number 3175 Whiskey, Fort Myers departure, better contact, climb, maintain 4,000.
4,000, 7 Whiskey. You can start seeing that weather's coming up right there, but Moan St. Augustine should keep me out, or I'll ask to deviate right a little bit. Alright, temperature's good, go ahead and lean. Looking ahead, see that weather is starting to clear up. This was all red earlier, so it's kind of pushing away. So if we come here to info, the pace SG,
Florida, Georgia. Belmont hot wash and flight ship pitch exceeds.
8 minutes ago, 150 at 3, visibility 10. Clear to 12,000, so 8 minutes ago, despite seeing all this green, that green is high level at the moment. But we can never be too safe, so I'm going to put my radar on standby. And then as we get closer, we will turn it on. So Florida weather can change really fast.
November 3, 126.5.
So even though the weather is dissipating, I've seen where Alton will dissipate one place and pop up in another. So it's important to always keep your options open and always have an out, even when you see the weather dissipating. So in my case, even though I'm going to St. Augustine, all that weather is north. So I pretty much don't have any weather from Ormond south. So I know my bailout point becomes anywhere, it's really south of Ormond, and I'm not even in green on the radar. And north of there, you know, depending on what we see, could be no factor. So even though I've got onboard radar, actual airborne radar, and I have ADS-B giving me the big picture, I still wouldn't just jump into something based on, you know, what I think it might do without having an out of some sort, or having a way to actually navigate around it, in which case I have both. And if you haven't seen some of my previous videos where we deal with the full-blown summer storms, be sure to check them out. I'll put up above a little link to it, and they're definitely worth watching. I actually like to go back and watch them myself, because even I learn from every flight I take, and I actually learn from going back and watching my videos. So if you do any flying in the summertime, especially if you do any in Florida, they're a good tool even for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and stay way ahead of the curve here. And I got the ATIS. Go ahead and load the ATIS up in my second NAVCOM, put it to my active frequency. Go ahead and load St. Augustine Tower, my second NAVCOM in the standby. So I've got all that ready to go. We'll go back to the map page. So another pretty cool tool is I can take my AIRTEXT system, and I can actually pull up the ASOS even though I'm too far to here right now. I can go to put in KSGJ, not just the METAR, which I'm seeing here, but the actual ASOS, and then hit request, and I'll get that on here. So as you can see, the current ASOS is 150 at 3, 10 statute miles clear. So remember, METARs are issued once an hour unless it's a special METAR. But ASOSs tend to change regularly, so it's a pretty convenient tool when you're keeping an eye on weather and trying to see the big picture and stay ahead of the big picture. So we're currently cruising level 8,000 feet. We have a indicated airspeed of 165 knots. Got an outside temperature of 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 12 degrees Celsius. And we got a ground speed of 183 knots. So as you can see, that gives us a true airspeed of 189 knots. So we're moving along quite nicely. You can see off to our left, that's some dark skies, that's some weather building. If you look at the ADS-B, it tells you it's 11 minutes old. And of course, which means it's even older than that. because it takes time.
104,
It takes time for it to be processed and uploaded. So that says 10 minutes now. So I mean that could be 15 minutes.
75 Whiskey, descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000 Senpai Whiskey. So I got my radar, just watching a little bit of stuff paint, but nothing major. So they want us to descend to 6,000, so I'm going to pull the power back from 22, I'm going to bring it back to 17. By doing that, my airspeed will stay the same. But I'll be in descending, so I didn't change any trim, I didn't change anything like that. I simply pulled the power back. So as we descend, the power tends to creep up. So we'll just continue to bring the power back. That way our airspeed doesn't get out of control. And we maintain the same descent rate. I'll tell you, with all the forecasted weather and all the radar returns, so far it's turning out to be a pretty nice flight.
Can we get the
I mean, you can see a little bit there, but
for connection 447, please.
so far we've managed to stay out of it. And what's in front of me seems to be dissipating as we get closer. Alright, we're 100 feet from our altitude. I'm going to start creeping the power back in. Yeah, I haven't touched the yoke. And look at that, we're leveling right off. So far not really picking much up on the radar. Get the occasional return here and there, but most of that is just ground return because I do not have a stabilized radar. So as the plane banks and hits little bumps, you know, it changes, it follows the axis of the airplane. So most of what I'm seeing, especially being this low, it's just that, it's just a little bit of ground return. I'm gonna go ahead and load the RNAV for 13. I'm gonna go ahead and put MATO. And just have that in there. Standing by. Suddenly got dark pretty quick.
40 up to 14000, executive 600.
Of course we are behind the sun.
3175 Whiskey, proceed direct to the Kaiser intersection. That's Kilo, India, Zulu, Echo Romeo, Kaiser, and depart Kaiser on a heading at 360.
Direct Kaiser and then 360 from Kaiser, Senpai Whiskey. Alright, so let's go direct Kaiser. Direct Kaiser. Activate direct Kaiser, it's 051.
Hold on to connection 452, Whiskey, climbing 2000.
And from Kaiser we'll go 360.
180, I think, connection 452. 452 is ready to contact 5 miles southeast of Sanford, turn right heading 230.
Daytona approach, bearing 3175 Whiskey 5000, direct Kaiser, then 360 after that.
For 3175 Whiskey, Daytona approach, Daytona altimeter 29903, depart Kaiser, direct St. Augustine.
Depart Kaiser, direct St. Augustine for Senpai Whiskey. Alright, so we'll come here to FMS. The gap right there, we're going to head and connect Kaiser and St. Augustine. Now, St. Augustine will go 080. I said 080, it's actually 008.
Number 75 Whiskey, area of light precipitation, 12 o'clock and 13 miles. Precipitation area extends about 30 miles north of where it begins, and it's intermittent. Areas of light and then nothing, and you can expect that pretty much all the way to St. Augustine. Right now in the immediate vicinity of the St. Augustine Airport, I am showing light precip that extends about 7 miles south.
Roger that, Senpai Whiskey. So you can see here, I'm expecting the visual for 13, but just to be safe, I went ahead and pulled up the approach plate. And so now I have that on my IFD 100. And I like this view here because I can see both track where I'm going, and it has georeferencing on it, and I can see all the waypoints, as well as my profile view, so I can see the altitudes as well. Kind of gives me a little bit of everything all in one. Of course I can pull that up here as well. And go select chart. Okay, St. Augustine. And then go RNAV 13. Enter. Then you can choose plan view, header, profile, which is what I like. And then if you want to just see all the minimums. And if you want to see the entire chart. Here you can see the missed approach instructions, climb 2000, then direct to Yucca. But I don't anticipate needing any of that. So as always, if you like my videos, be sure to give me that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. The biggest thank you I can get is your subscription to my channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to stop by BaronPilotShop.com and you can pick up some Baron Pilot merchandise as well as Pilot Shop gear, mounts, and you know, other things.
Number 75 Whiskey, area of moderate precipitation at 12 o'clock and 9 miles. Precipitation area 3 miles in diameter. It's variable between light and moderate in intensity and about stationary, I'd say.
Roger that. It's looking like I'm probably underneath most of that.
75 Whiskey, roger. I'll give you further descent. Descent and maintain 3,000.
3,000 for 75 Whiskey.
For 75 Whiskey, contact Jacksonville approach 120.75. Take care.
120.75, 75 Whiskey, good day. Jack's approach, Baron 3175 Whiskey 3000.
75 Whiskey, roger, maintain 2000, report field and sight for the visual to 13.
2000, and I'll report in just a minute, 75 Whiskey. Alright, I'll go ahead and turn off my radar. I can see we've made it without dealing with any of this weather. All that weather is off to our left. And 75 Whiskey has a field, sorry.
75 Whiskey, roger, visual 13, contact the tower. Enjoy your evening, guys. Aloha.
Bit of visual over 13, over the tower, 75 Whiskey. Aloha. Good evening, San Augustine Tower, Baron 3175 Whiskey on the visual for 13.
Baron 3175 Whiskey, San Augustine Tower, continue right traffic, runway 13.
Right traffic for 13, 75 Whiskey.
Baron 75 Whiskey, runway 13, clear to land.
13, clear land, 75 Whiskey. First time we're getting a little bit of water on the airplane.
Air in a little bit.
Go ahead and put approach flaps.
Advised prior to entering class Delta.
You're going down. Alright, going full flaps. We are 3 Galeen. We are clear to land.
500.
We go on mist right now. If you're IFR. That's what that light is. My radar altimeter.
Baron 75 Whiskey, where do you park?
Landing for 75 Whiskey.
Baron 75 Whiskey, turn right on runway 20. That's your next right turn. Hold short of taxiway Bravo on the runway. Contact ground 121.17.
Right on 20, hold short of Bravo over to ground, 75 Whiskey. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Southsea ground, Baron 3175 Whiskey is clear 13 at 20 and Bravo for Atlantic.
3175 Whiskey, Southsea ground, taxi straight ahead, runway 20 to the end, turn right to the ramp.
Straight ahead to the end and right to the ramp for 75 Whiskey. So as you can see, this flight actually turned out to be great. The weather cleared up and it worked out good. Don't let the lesson from this be that it's okay to take off in the weather because it's going to get better. It was a whole lot of planning, a whole lot of watching the weather, seeing what it's doing before I made that decision. And even with making that decision, there still were plenty of outs. So if you want experience with weather, I highly suggest you go up with a CFI and somebody who is experienced with weather. Or you just dive on in and make sure you understand what's actually happening. Well guys, until next time, stay safe. I'll see you on the next one.